Alright, last time we went over the baseline details of the case against OtterlyNoah. Our local lovable otter debunking grifters got into some hot water over allegations of plagiarizing. He seemingly took those allegations as a challenge to be worse. After a YouTuber named Callisto made a video criticizing Noah, Noah sent the video to his artist, said to strike it, and instructed her on how to do so. He then lied to every party involved and stabbed everyone in the back just for positive relations with the others. Everyone from friends who defended him to the original video creators to the very artist he asked to strike it. No one was safe. Noah's pretense only lasted a few days before the pressure made him crack, and the subsequent livestream was a total demolition of his credibility. If you've watched part 1, you know that already, so why make part 2? Well, as discussed previously, a few moles inside Noah's Patreon-only Discord server brought up a lot of new information. Everyone's talking about it in there. The leaks. Who's leaking the server? Is the leaker this guy? Who is it? Who's the leaker?
It's me.
Leaks need a reason, and what you'll find here is a lot more of Noah's lies, but also a pure representation of Noah's character behind closed doors. We'll be going over everything surrounding the Discord, some stuff you may have heard of before, others you definitely haven't. Let's get stuck in. Now, we're going to show the real workings of Noah's Discord shortly, but before that, there is some equally interesting stuff that we really need to get into. You're obviously familiar with Deus Marionette, the artist from Noah's community who became his de facto human shield. Deus is not a public figure, in fact no one could find her until they looked into Noah's server. For a lot of the situation, Noah kept her hidden away because if she talked to anyone else, she'd probably tell them the truth. Then when everything got dragged out into the light and it turns out Noah was shifting the blame onto her, he started posturing as if he was protecting her. So the fact Deus was used by Noah to issue this strike has obviously soured her opinions of him. Recently, Deus deleted her DMs, with Noah hopeful that time will fix their relationship. That's true, but I did still mess up with Deus. She's very hurt because of it. She deleted all our DMs on her end too. I hope you two can patch things up. It'll take time, but that's not what Deus is saying. It turns out Noah has been going back and retroactively editing his replies to her to reduce the amount of lies. We know that Noah lied about not having involvement in the copyright strike against Callisto, but little did we know, he also lied about knowing who Kinoflex was. Do you know this person? Used my art for their video too. Uh-oh, no I don't. Noah has now changed this DM to say, I know them, yes. So the reason Deus deleted her DMs isn't because of some soured relationship, it's because Noah was actively changing his own words in a desperate attempt to cover up more lies. Now, we have the current logs of Noah and Deus' DMs. A lot of Deus' parts are deleted, so take your mandatory grains of salt, but we can gauge a lot from this. We have the guide that Noah gave to Deus, as well as him telling her to post this onto Blue Sky as proof she made the art. We also have this alternate history lawsuit that was never meant to be. He won't. I've got him bodied on Twitter right now. If he does anything to you, tell me right away. I can easily take legal action against him for lying about me in that video as well. Yep, definitely. Most people are in agreement he's lying on Twitter, if it helps you feel better. I'd say respond to this email and let him know your thoughts. Okay, sounds good. I ended up speaking to this guy Kinoflex privately, by the way. He said he was sorry about using your art in the thumbnail without permission. He says he will change his thumbnail. Yeah, he seems to be understanding, which is good. Yeah, I told him to let folks know to check with you first before your art is used. Oh, I'm just getting word there that everything just said there was a lie. Kinoflex actually never said anything about apologizing, changing the thumbnail, or telling people to check with Deus first. Noah never brought that up, and just fabricated that on the spot. We are now able to see Deus' replies for this brief section. Haha, yeah. Still nothing from Callisto. Huh, weird. What did he post? Also, how would he get my email? He just posted something like, my video on ProZD and Noah might be in trouble. I'm gonna try and make contact with someone. Something really vague like that. Weird. Also, by the way, are you able to call? Okay, cool. My friend Simon was wondering about it too. Yeah, they were wondering about the whole thing with the art. Hey Deus, someone is wondering about the art stuff as well. Would you be alright if I sent them a snippet of the call with Simon? Not the full thing if you're uncomfortable with that, but just the specific part with you clarifying it was resolved with Callisto. Not sure why so many people are interested when it was dealt with privately. Okay, that's fair. I am annoyed too. Now the clip he's referring to here is the recording of the call with Deus that we have. Technically this is not a lie because he does include the part where she says she resolved it with Callisto. But what he doesn't tell her is the preamble he includes, which totally implicates her as the chief party involved. Take a listen.
Well, look, I don't post on YouTube. I have nothing to do with that community. So to know that people are using my work to promote their stuff is kind of shocking to me because I post no videos. I don't know who any of these people are. So for me, it's a no-go. So for you to tell me that someone using my work that I have no idea who they are, never seen these videos, never consented to their opinions, it's like I'm promoting their work.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I get what you're saying. So, like I said, I'll actually I'm sorry, honestly, if I actually said something that might have actually been off of there. So.
Well, me and him have resolved it. He's removed it. I've removed the claim because he's taken the art off. And yeah, I don't know why anyone else is getting involved in this.
Like taking a bit to retract the claim, because you sent the email. Yeah, apparently YouTube servers are just slow. I've never seen this stuff too much before, so still learning too. But glad they will stop now. Will they? I think so. If nobody gives them attention, they will only keep going if someone responds. That's why I blocked some of the drama accounts on Twitter. Callisto also made a public post saying he's moving on, so if he goes back on that, it only makes him look bad. After other people start talking, the penny drops. It turns out the actual reason that Noah conceded isn't because of the stress on Deus, it's because Deus caught him with his pants down after everyone else began peddling his lies. You told me you didn't know Kinoflex. He's posting saying you've sent him messages that I did this all on my own. Can you admit that you approached me about this takedown? I'll call you after stream. You threw me under the bus, what the f***? I did not. I will explain after stream, because I'm confused right now. Did you send him messages from our conversation? No, that is why I'm confused seeing that. That's another lie, by the way. This all led to a private call between Deus, Noah, Kinoflex, Callisto, and their mutual friend Jan as well. Keen listeners will actually know that the call leaked from last video was this mythical call. Apparently everyone in this call actively wants this recording released. Everyone except Noah. Now I could pore over this call for ages, but it's an hour long, and to be honest, it is just people yelling at Noah for an hour, which is funny, but I'm not really interested in it for the video. So if you want to check it out for yourself, there's a link in the description. What really stood out to me from this was how Deus speaks in this call. The entire importance of this whole segment is that we've never really gotten a huge window into Deus' perspective on this whole situation. A lot of it has mostly been guarded and warped by Noah, and Deus hasn't been too keen herself because she doesn't want to be a public figure. She's been dragged into the light unnecessarily, used as a fall guy. You can tell here she's just had enough.
Why make the copyright claim in the first place? Just because
Noah suggested I take it, or I do a copyright strike.
I did not. Well, I gave that suggestion. I did not specifically command her to do that, though.
And then you gave me the link to how to copyright strike.
Art taken down.
You gave me the link on how to do a copyright strike takedown after.
I'm just a little confused as to why it would get to that go to that extreme.
Don't ask me, ask Noah. He's the one who sent me the link. He's the one who gave me Callisto's name, and he's the one who provided me the link on how to do a copyright claim takedown. And he said he would walk me through. You said you would walk me through the process to do it. I told you I didn't want to, and I didn't want people coming after me.
Wait, no, you didn't say that.
I said I was afraid that Callisto was going to come after me, and you said don't worry about it.
But Deus, what would your ideal resolution to this be?
I honestly didn't really care. I was just brought into this. For me, he can post the video. I didn't care.
I thought you cared about him using your art, though.
No, but you're the one who brought it to me and said he was using it for a racist purpose.
When I saw the art there, I kind of freaked out. I went to Deus and told her about that.
So yeah, that matters because when we originally talked, you said that you didn't know anything about the person who did the copyright.
Really? You told them you had no idea.
When did I say that?
Well, you said that you knew the person, but you said that you didn't tell them to copyright claim Callisto's video.
I didn't tell her specifically to do that. I just told her the process.
Deus, how comfortable on a scale of 1 to 10 are you with making any public appearances in a stream or a video?
I honestly don't appear on anything. I just want to be invisible on the internet. So this has been very stressful.
Yeah, so then,
I feel very used right now. In a battle that I had nothing to do with.
I was trying to look out for you because I've had a similar experience like this before.
Okay, but the outcome has hurt everyone in this call.
Yes.
No, I defended you. I took you at your word that you didn't know anything about this, but it turns out you liked me.
I did. Ugh. When did I say I didn't know anything about this?
One thing I want to note here is responsibility. Immediately after this call, Noah will debate responsibility, saying that he wasn't responsible for the strike against Callisto. And having now finally seen as much of the DMs as I'm physically able to, I think the idea is completely untrue. How can you say that you don't have any responsibility when you show her the video, tell her what to do, show her how to do it, keep her away from anyone else, lie to her to keep the strike going, discuss your own legal options against the person she struck? Anyone that does not think Noah is a huge liar in the situation against everyone involved is either delusional and or named OtterlyNoah. Even in the aftermath, Noah has been allergic to taking responsibility, and inside his Discord he's blaming everyone else. According to Noah, Wargaming Dad and Kinoflex are now evil neurotypicals who gaslight and kick down the poor, helpless, and most importantly, autistic OtterlyNoah. Deus Marionette was actually just gaslighting him the entire time. Hey, remember when this guy told Kinoflex the whole situation was out of his hands, or when he told Wargaming Dad the strike just happened apparently out of nowhere? Just reminding you. Oh, Anthony Grimigula has cut ties with me? That must be because Dickers and Kinoflex influenced him into this hatred. Give me a break. None of this had anything to do with autism. There's no point roping all autistic people as a part of your motivations. This isn't like lying to protect people's feelings. You were openly running two separate narratives at the exact same time to parties that you pitted against each other. You had the biggest interest in seeing that video go down by any means. You instigated this whole thing by getting the video taken down in the first place. So please, don't use what you have to make yourself a victim and act like this is something that comes with autism, because it's not. And if you are going to say that your friends were influenced against you, maybe don't send a message prior admitting to trying to influence someone else. Now, one thing I neglected to mention in my first video was Noah's history of copyright strikes. My main purpose was to get down to the brass tacks of the situation and put it as plainly as possible, which is why I didn't really go into detail about the fact that this wasn't Noah's first copyright rodeo. A couple months prior to Callisto's video, Noah had some issues with a longtime Discord mod of his called TheGamingTrouge. Trouge lost that position because he was fighting with another person called Cherry, all starting from an argument on whether being gay is a choice or it's decided by birth. Trouge ended up making 3 diss tracks on Cherry under the name DJ Snow, and the lyrical content here really leaves a lot to be desired.
Bang, 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 DJ Snow, back with a bang. Dinosaur Hunter, we're back with my dragon fame. You're in no place to play my games. You got in a trap like Jurassic Park, hitting them combos, Kingdom Hearts, yeah.
Now, Noah has accused Trouge of harassing Cherry through various means. He's publicly claimed Trouge has gotten other friends to target Cherry and insult her as well as her viewership on YouTube. Horrific stuff. However, the only evidence Noah shows are these, frankly, crap diss tracks.
So here's your 50 seconds of fame. Thank you for giving me an excuse to rap on the mic. Yeah, you're no different than Shadow Flare, twisting the story when I'm away, attacking others using my name when all I wanna do is play games. Now you're gonna taste my blade. You're gonna taste my blade.
Is there anyone who actually listens to this and is actually insulted by it? No, obviously not. If this was directed at someone in my community, at a push, I'd block them and move on, and that's being generous. But not to Noah, no, this is like the 50 Cent of the OtterlyNoah Discord community. When Trouge posted another diss track against Noah for his support of Cherry, Noah called in the equivalent of an orbital strike by getting the video taken down via copyright. Well, not directly, he'll want me to clarify that. Noah noticed that Trouge was using art that one of Noah's mods named Camelot Bard had made for him. He then went to Camelot, told them he was using the art, and they went to another mod named OtterlyNoah, who told him to use the copyright system. This is where the idea for Noah's strike and Callisto came from. But let's not act like it was just Camelot's template that Noah mindlessly used. In his stream made a few days later, Noah publicly asserted the copyright strike was fair, despite the thumbnail clearly falling under fair use. Noah's only justification was that Camelot doesn't want to be associated with Trouge anymore, which is a fine feeling, but not really a good legal defense.
This is art that Camelot made for Trouge before she found out about all of this, and that's why she cut ties with him too. And she doesn't want her art being used on something like this, that is intentionally targeting someone and being malicious. I really appreciated him reaching out and helping her figure this out, honestly, because I could imagine that was probably a scary situation. Like, she didn't want to be inadvertently linked to something like that. I don't blame her. Yep, again, like, Camelot has all the rights to that art. She was completely in her right to take it down, She doesn't want to be associated with you. She has all the rights to do that. Don't act like she didn't have any rights to do that.
Whilst Noah wasn't as responsible for striking the video as he had been with Deus, the similarities between the two situations are uncanny. You can even see Noah coordinating with Camelot on what Blue Sky post to put up. Why do these artists immediately comply with this? Probably because in both DMs, this bigger YouTuber slides over the idea of these artists being guilty by association. If they said they didn't care about it, would he go after them? Maybe that's what these artists were thinking. Again, both these people were from OtterlyNoah's core community. After this, Noah then essentially argued with the only person who covered the situation, that being a 100-sub streamer named WendyHo. WendyHo later confronted Noah and stated he was never even told Noah had shown the artist the video in the first place. So yet again, another of the countless people he lied to. Now you may be thinking, why is this happening? Who cares? Who gives a about this random Discord mod turncoat who makes terrible diss tracks? And that's a good question. Why did Noah even get involved in this? It could be from an extreme care for his Discord community, but from the way that Noah was so proactive about this, I can only assume that Trouge's diss track actually made him ass mad. After all, Trouge only got a strike after he spoke about Noah, and Noah went on a tirade, accusing him of harassment without any evidence shown so far, posting to his community tab and streaming about him. It seems like a lot of work against some small channel that used to be a Discord mod, work that has allegedly gotten Trouge harassed in return. So official headcanon is that this had steam coming out of Noah's ears when he first heard it.
We can go back and forth like a tough war. We posting videos while you hide them for. Back them all up, now people know you crazy. Not understanding spectrums, it's amazing.
I could imagine that was probably a scary situation, like...
Now you got Noah crap is really funny, both the K subs, now that's very interesting. You both are obsessed with me, but Charlie speaks out publicly. Noah hides behind other people to do his dirty laundry.
Alright, finally, I've delayed and delayed. Let's talk about the Discord server. Whilst the copyright strike situation was breaking news, me and the boys back at the lab decided to have a look into Noah's paywall Discord server. Most of the credit here goes to Nicandros and Future Nightmares for their stellar investigation and archiving. Once called the River Pups, this server now goes by Noah's neurodivergent nest. Can't lie, the first name was better. Due to a complaint of too much drama going on, many members have since left, with Noah begging people to stop bringing it up. Despite that, he has continued to talk about drama and uses Discord server as a personal venting place. When Agents N and F arrived on the scene, Noah's Discord was already on lockdown. We got in like the last helicopter out of Saigon. We would later learn that, allegedly, Noah's first draft for his public apology was actually made by one of his mods. Yet that wasn't what initially caught our eyes. One of the strangest things we noticed was that Noah's Discord didn't have an age gate. There was no rule saying that anyone under the age of so-and-so will be banned from the server. You might think, well, it is a Patreon server, the little kids are filtered out from there. But it's not really a Patreon server. For a long while, Noah's server was open to the public. He even told Deus this in their DMs, and to this day, some of the old videos still have the Discord link around. It was only pretty recently when he made it a Patreon server. Things got even weirder when we found an old message of Noah knowingly letting a 12-year-old onto his server. This was a while back, but I'm pretty sure Discord TOS requires you to be 13 to join at least. What we would later find is that between 2022 and 2025, Noah's Discord server had no restrictions on age, and yet sexual content was allowed. Not entirely explicit, but lewd pictures and especially lewd art. Turns out Noah himself used to be a bit of a gooner back in the day. Noah had a guy on the server who would just tag him over and over with sexual drawings of Zelda, especially Shantae, and the chick from Star Fox, and he would either react or give a reply like, "I'd love to rub her lamp." Done. She needs the original shirt, with an otter on it. New shirt easier to redraw. Ha ha ha. Darn. So much for my thick women I can take to Neverland. I mean, I snuck pixie wings on her too. I sort of have a style with the characters I draw shirts. Good. She can be my Tinkerbell. Listen, this guy was no bronze level beater back in the day. In fact, if you look back at Noah's old gaming streams, you can find some amazing clips.
What? You've been sent to the 1920s with both of you? Hey, yo. I'd like to get sent to the 1920s with you, Chun-Li. And especially, more on our noir story together, right? I can play detective. You can play femme fatale. I want those thighs.
What grown man needs 4 functioning lightsabers?
Probably the same guy who has 6 different figurines of all of his waifus. Actually, make that 7.
The money is to Wario what Chun-Li is to me. And any thick-thighed, dummy mommy female, pretty much, yeah. You could advertise his school? by saying, hey, there's plus-size woman here. Also has great taste in waifus like Chun-Li and all the thick-thigh queens we like to see. Yeah, I mean, just like thick women in general are the best, I must say. Chun-Li's one of the best because of that. She's a queen. She can crush me with those thighs any day. And it's a shame I can't add Chun-Li because it's not Fox or your plus-size woman today, because they're awesome and they're the best. You know, the incredible love that you can receive from a plus-size woman today. Just call your local... call your... No, I can't say that.
To be honest, I think this is better than his current content. I mean, there's no politics in Goonin. We can even trace his undying love for the Tron series from here. Although I must warn you, it's not from where you'd expect.
We can't let innocent people get hurt here. You guys look like the innocent people to us. Oh, I love that. I don't know. If they were, would they have enormous weapons on them? You know, it's a valid point, Tron. Why do they keep showing your cake? Dang it. What is this game? There we go. That's great. What does the matter, Miss Tron? Wow, even that shot shows it off, too. Do all the shots of her just show that? That shot of hers is so good. They show exactly what people like. The dumpy.
There we go. The same guy who has 6 different figurines of all of his waifus. Actually, make that sense.
Thankfully, there was a glimpse of the old Noah in that stream with Dickers.
Wait, this Emma Sky Fots in the courtroom. You reported it for sexual content. Isn't this like an anime character?
Because I did not want that on my shorts feed. Oh, I think when do you want? Yeah, they want to talk here specifically. I'm assuming you're talking about the whole thing with the Camelot bard situation, Wendy. Specifically.
I'm glad we watched this. This is really necessary.
Sorry.
It says a lot about right-wing media.
This guy in 2021 Tipster is like Messi and Ronaldo in the levels of gooning. Now, what am I trying to say here? This guy shouldn't be going to the Jerkmate Grand Slam? No, the original point is that at this time, Noah was pretty clearly supportive of sexual content on his Discord server. That's fine, but doing it in a Discord server without any age restriction is kind of a huge oversight. Like, this is like softcore porn at some points. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's the easiest thing in the world just to like put an age restriction on. Now, I was initially just gonna leave this in as a funny bit and a nod to Noah to probably fix things, until an anonymous user of Noah's server came forward. Among other things, including the toxic nature of the server, he reported that when he was 16, a nearly 30-year-old moderator showed him an NSFW website on the server. This moderator is alleged to be OtterlyNoah Otterson, who, just to be clear, is a different person to OtterlyNoah. This guy was later removed from the server for an unrelated reason. At this point, I felt Noah needed to at least know about this. I don't like the guy, but it's also his server, and he has the power to implement change. Plus, if I held onto something like this just for an own, what kind of man would I be? So I told Future, who contacted Noah and told him about the findings. In response, Noah pointed out that a lot of the art was shown from 2024, when the no NSFW material rule for the server was placed in 2025. This confirms that there was a point in time where 12-year-olds were openly let into a public server with no rules on NSFW. Noah does make a point of saying that this rule has been changed, due to people like this NX person posting this kind of art too frequently to the point of discomfort. Noah even says that's why this person was kicked, because they kept posting sexual content. He was also made aware of the OtterlyNoah stuff, and is working on upping his server boundaries to 18+. Now, I wanted to double check this with messages from the server itself. First of all, Noah says these examples are just from 2024, before the rule was implemented. However, we have tons of other examples with Noah reacting most of the time, and a lot of these are posted in 2025. The last of these is as far as December 2025. From what I understand, the no NSFW rule was initially applied in early 2024, inferred from his messages about a ban on NSFW art, and specifically keeping content family-friendly / PG-13. However, by around July, the ban was relaxed, and stayed that way for ages. Even if we go by Noah's story that this rule was implemented in 2025, and people like NX were kicked soon after due to them continuing to post, the timelines still don't add up. NX's last lewd post was in December 2025, which Noah reacted to positively. He even said NX was an amazing friend around the same time. NX's last post in general was in January 2026, but there is a month gap between his last sexual post and his last post ever. So unless there's been some deletions, the reason for him being removed may have had nothing to do with the no NSFW rule. And that's if he was even removed at all. When we got into contact with Camelot, Noah's Discord mod, they said they always thought NX had just left on his own. After double checking audit logs and Discord channels, Camelot confirmed there was no discussion at all about removing NX. And that is really unusual, because Noah's mod team was very vocal about their actions. We have logs of OtterlyNoah, for example, getting his mod perms removed because he was changing people's nicknames. So do you not think if a longtime user and quote, amazing friend of Noah's was violating the new NSFW rules, the moderators would talk about it? Even a mere mention? Or did he leave on his own and Noah lied to make it seem like he'd already taken action? After hearing this, me and Future decided to dig into the server more and see what we could find. 5th of November 2024, OtterlyNoah, a moderator, offered to send another person NSFW in the server privately. This other person is an adult to be fair, but this was a public offer made on the channel. We found that there were a fair few minors active on Noah's server. Some of them were also pretty active in the art channel, posting next to NX's horny posts. In some cases, they posted NSFW themselves. On the 28th of February 2025, a 15-year-old artist posted semi-gory drawings of a human body without skin and light artistic nude. Noah seems to think that NSFW means only related to sexual stuff, which is why there's no ban on any of this. This is why his server also has a vent channel where users express thoughts about again, a channel that is openly accessible to minors. All you have to do is get the role Neurospectacular. Though it doesn't advertise vent channels directly, it's packaged in with a bundle of neurodivergent related topics. Now, to be clear, I do not think Noah is a PDF file or whatever. However, through his irresponsibility, he created a place that may have led to minors being exposed to sexual content. Putting an age gate in a Discord server is just really easy to do, but if he properly banned NSFW, there may have been no need to. Some of the art posted is fairly normal, but there is a sizable portion that's pretty sexualized and risque, not much clothes on, or it focuses heavily on a specific part of the body. NSFW could be a fairly flexible tag, but you know what isn't? Family friendly. And I can't even say maybe it went under the radar, because it didn't. The art was very clearly on the radar, because Noah reacted to it all the time. He got tagged in tons of the posts. When NX posted a link to some obvious YouTube EPI channel, Noah's there with him. NX posted so much art, people made joking remarks that the server should be called a Shantae sanctuary. And that's not even mentioning how bad of an idea the vent channel is. Listen, you want to have a vent channel? Fine. But the fact it was on a server with no age restrictions for so long is a red flag. The fact it was so easily accessible is another red flag. This doesn't mean the server is a dedicated NSFW haven, let me be clear on that, but parts of it are so willfully careless. It's not like this was just some unmoderated hellhole. Was banned, for example, people got final warnings, but Noah let this slide. I think he knew back then he was wrong, but just decided to ignore it because he liked the art, you know what I'm saying? He was debunking his little grizzly bear. Noah knows this looks bad for him. It's why I think his recent statement to me in Future has been so blurry in its details, and why I think he may have exaggerated his involvement in policing it. Again, why does he say the no NSFW rule was implemented in 2025? Why does he say NX was violating the rules and making him uncomfortable when he clearly wasn't uncomfortable? Why does he say NX was kicked when another mod has checked the logs and said he wasn't? If you did kick NX, where's the final warning you've given to so many others? And if he was removed over the NSFW stuff, why wasn't he banned? Because kicking will remove them from the server, but it keeps all their messages. Now, during these messages, you might see the name Anthony Grimicula pop up a few times. Anthony is another media reviewer and stood by Noah throughout his plagiarism drama. He even helped him pick up the pieces, giving him advice, checking over parts of his scripts, and sending over university-level guides on avoiding plagiarism. And when EFAP went live, he laughed at how much they were covering him. It was only until he realized the gravity of Noah's actions that he disassociated himself and fully cut Noah off, doing his own streams adding onto the evidence against Noah. After all, Noah had promised to improve from his previous situations. When the person you repeatedly help and prop up goes and does something probably worse than you were helping him for, it's fair to feel kinda hurt. Yet Noah only sees this as a knife in his back, and laments about how Anthony won't talk to a clearly compulsive liar. I decided to block Ant on Blue Sky. The fact he threw Noah under the bus is unforgivable. Yeah, this really stung. I guess we'll see what happens, but man, I did expect better here. Maybe Birdman can help. I don't know. Birdman burned the bridge with Noah a few days later, by the way. When Anthony talks about how destructive DMCA strikes are and how they affected him personally, Noah responds basically saying, well, I have a strike too for the same reason, which is a total misread of the point being made. In fact, it actually helps him. If you have personal experience with the copyright system being misused, wouldn't you want to not do the same to others? On the 23rd of April, after Anthony Grimigula made a stream condemning Noah, he hopped into his Discord VC for a community cope session. Thankfully, we have parts of this recorded.
Like, how much time do you suppose I give it? Because I, like, already, still plenty of people are mad at me now. For some good reason. But there's others that are bogus.
First off, Noah mentions how he's thinking of running and rebranding his channel following this whole drama.
I know somebody in general chat suggested a rebrand. Honestly, I don't think that's a bad idea at this point.
Wait, what the heck? What do you mean? What rebrand?
Well, I would just change my name and kind of show that I'm going to be doing different content going forward, basically.
However, Noah states later on that this rebrand is to avoid controversy, so people won't associate his new name with it.
Yeah, I mean, I just think I should distance myself from the whole Otter thing and, anything else, because they're going to automatically just associate that with, previous content and stuff like that.
He even plans this rebrand out, trying to wait until everything cools down to do it, so that EFAP won't make fun of him.
Well, I think if I do that right now, I'm just going to get the same, people from EFAP and all the brigaders that are coming in right now.
Yeah. Oh god, that's
what I mean. Like, I should at least wait until some heat dies down. Anthony's just gonna come in and be like, "Oh, look, doubling down. He's not taking accountability." I'm like, no, I did. Up with Deus and all that other stuff. I spurred out when there was the whole thing between her and Wargaming Dad, all that, and I already took accountability for that. I did not understand fair use when I came to her either.
Again, I just think he can't help but lie here. The situation doesn't come from a misunderstanding of fair use, it comes from just being malicious and annoyed at a video and using any available resource to take that video down. He clearly knows what fair use is. The man's literally been through a copyright strike before. Apart from those clips, the rest of this segment is mostly seething about Anthony Grimigula and his condemnation of Noah. In his first clip, Noah has an issue with Anthony's fans harassing him. Reminder, this guy's definition of harassment stretches to this.
Went free in your head. Same with Noah, despite him being more successful, that is just sad.
So take it with a pinch of salt.
Community post. I just edited it just to say don't harass anyone criticizing me. Because I'm already getting that. But if I make
I don't mean to bother.
If I make the blatant statement don't harass anyone criticizing me, then that already puts me above other people. Because apparently with Anthony's stream, it supposedly, from what I heard anyway, I didn't watch the whole thing because my mental health handle it. But it took him 40 through the stream to actually say, don't harass Noah.
Essentially, the vibes I'm getting from this statement is moral superiority. Noah directly states he feels he's above Anthony because he directly says not to harass people. It's like that superiority is kind of his only reason for saying it. Noah's issue is that Anthony wasn't fast enough to tell people not to harass him.
And he also claimed in the stream that he, made this big claim or whatever that he was never gonna work on my scripts again. I'm like, and I just never asked you to work on one again. What are you talking about? It's so stupid.
No, the point of saying I'll never work on your scripts again is that he's drawing the line, not you. He's personally annoyed at this and decided to set his boundary here. It's nothing to do with your demand. This is so easy to understand. How did this guy become a media critic? The real shocker comes in when Noah floats around the idea of suing Anthony Grimigula, because Anthony believes that Noah nudged his artist into striking Trouge's diss track.
Being vague about it too, saying oh, it's hazy. When he's talking about Camelot and all that, what are you doing? This is straight up slander. I don't know, could I file something for that? I feel like I could take legal action against that, possibly. But given the fact he is actively trying to ruin my online reputation, and supposedly, he's literally saying, oh, his online career. I'm like, What are you talking about? You lied
Excuse
about
me?
me in a stream.
God damn, this guy can't go 2 seconds without mindlessly throwing himself into the legal system. And it's not against someone like Dickers, or Emrau, or Calesto, people who have dedicated a lot of time explaining how they hate this guy. It's towards Anthony, and yet as soon as the cutoff becomes official, Noah's calling up every attorney within a 5-mile radius.
Honestly, again, like I have a pretty clear case here. Anthony got on his stream, quite literally lied about me. Blatantly. There are other things, again, that I did do that are true in there, but the fact he's adding misinformation on top of that is not good.
It would make you look really bad if you filed another legal thing after getting called out for filing a legal thing wrongfully.
The thing with that, though, is because I did not understand it fair. There wasn't really any grounds do that. You know, both me and Camelot understand that now.
What makes you think you have legal grounds to sue Anthony? What kind of legal papers have you ever read? Do you really think any reasonable attorney would look at your case and not laugh you out the door without a trunk full of money to come with it?
I'm just saying, if you do this, people will see it as you just doing the same thing over and over again. I'm not saying that that's what it is, but that's what people will think.
People will get mad. Why would they get mad over that? I was lied about on a stream. Like, if the court clears it up, which I think if I get a good lawyer, I could easily do that. I just have to figure that all out because that's a mess.
The problem is that would take like months.
Well, also,
to
yeah,
hear.
again, like libel, you know, you have to show evidence of damages, which I can easily do that by showing that I lost 1,500 subscribers and.
Oh, so that's what it's about.
Was the YouTuber Carl? He like insinuated that
Carl
someone took the. Yeah, him. Like when that lawsuit was going on, for so long everyone was on his side until it came out what it was about.
It would be a good idea first, like what Cyan said. I would want to consult first. I just have to figure out where to find one. I've never had to do this kind of thing before.
Wait, he's never even talked to a lawyer before? Now I kinda wish he went through this plan just to see how fast it would have collapsed. It seems like the closer you are to Noah, the more cutthroat he can be toward you. On May 2nd, Noah released a video apologizing for everything regarding the DMCA stuff with Calesto, as well as some of the old plagiarism stuff. This activated Nicandros into releasing the segment of the recorded calls where Noah talks about his lawsuit toward Anthony. Anthony was again reasonably really annoyed at this, and his post about it alerted Noah's Discord server. Instead of realizing, hey, it was kind of insane for this guy to throw out lawsuit threats, the Discord members and Noah kinda just skirt past that and say that this was illegally recording a private space and no one else in the call consented. And honestly, if any of these people talk about the law again, I'm gonna tear my goddamn eyeballs out. These VCs are a publicly accessible space. The only thing keeping it technically private is the $3 a month that anyone can pay to join. There's a difference in expectation of privacy between a call with 2 other people and an accessible VC with like 50 of them. Noah himself made the server public. To this day, he has left the Discord server link public on parts of his channels. In some DMs, he's even saying the server is public. The only thing that could legally protect a server here is the paywall, because leaking, ironically, may be copyright infringement. Even that itself is shaky, but that's a stronger legal argument compared to recording consent laws. Noah then took to Blue Sky to say, "Kinda can't believe I have to say this, but no, I have no plans on suing Anthony Grimigula. Apparently someone was in my private Discord server at one point, and recorded a conversation of me saying that offhandedly, whilst just in a state of emotion. Once again, I have no plans to sue Anthony." Okay, it was a bit more than just one conversation, Noah. This was like sporadic mentions throughout a 2-hour VC.
That'd be expensive, right? I'd like to avoid that if possible. But if it comes down to it, I might. Just because that is also my online reputation on the line right now. Because I'm losing subscribers and stuff over it, but like I mean, obviously that I'll probably figure out my options for the slander and stuff. Again, I don't think it was his intent, but he did lie about me still.
He threatened to sue me. Him running with this is ridiculous. Following the strike, Noah made some public apologies and went into hibernation. He's now focusing more on his new job in the film industry, which I hope has nothing to do with writing or legal counsel. Noah also stated the main reason for the strike was because he disliked how Calesto's video used Deus' art. Between this, protecting the artist, hating the video, destroying racism, I can't tell which shallow reason is real. Noah since rebranded to Noah the Otter, then rebranded back to OtterlyNoah. The Griffly Bear series is now over because it doesn't fix anything and just hurts people. people, except no, he's now gone back on that as well. Also, Noah's first video back immediately showed uncredited footage from someone else. He then quickly retconned the lack of credit in the description. I don't know what I was expecting, to be honest. So at the end of all this, what can we make of OtterlyNoah? Well, the recent drama and Discord logs have stripped away his content and left us an image of the man himself. And my personal theory is that a lot of his actions hinge on ego. Since forever, Noah positioned himself as an autism advocate, a guy who bases his entire identity on his mental diagnosis. He even went out of his way to watch films just because they had autistic people in them.
With her having an autistic brother in it. Of course, the fact that there was an autistic person in this movie is the reason why I personally went to see it. And
I had to see if my people were represented.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Sure.
And therein lies the problem. The reason Noah did what he did in the first place and thought he could get away with it is because he's so self-absorbed. He doesn't see himself as just a guy who talks about autism, he sees himself as the autism guy, a major speaker for the community. He's mainly seen his diagnosis as a label for him to construct his entire identity around. That self-absorption then carries over when it comes to the anti-grifter videos. The ends always justify the means. Noah doesn't see his Griffly Bear series as a creative endeavor or entertainment or interest, he sees it as a service.
And I hope my video here helped you understand just how awful Drinker is as a reviewer and most of these grifters are overall. Thankfully, it does look like me doing these videos is paying off and helping people understand where real criticism comes from and what it actually looks like, so thank you everybody for paying attention to these videos. I'm happy to keep doing my part and I'm happy to keep hunting Griffly Bears.
This is why Noah's actions have been so drastic and brazen. He thinks so highly of himself. Some guy will draw an innocent comic of his Rantsona character which is very clearly inspired by Noah's, and the first thing Noah does is call them weird and rebuke them for not asking permission to use his likeness. This is just an otter wearing the Tron suit, not exactly Virgil Abloh, are ya? It's like he sees himself in the middle of a complicated film plot. But it's just not true. The reason everyone is now against him is because he threw them under the bus or pulled them back out whenever it was convenient for him. He'll probably never be able to properly self-reflect because that's where he is now. He's proven himself as an utterly malicious, impulsive, and compulsive liar. Artists, audience, detractors, and collaborators have a good enough reason to stay far away. Or in other words, your life ain't a movie, lil bro. Thank you for watching, and until next time, stay safe and stay toasty.